A schizophrenic man holding a knife, fighting with his own mother, beating up the first responding San Bernardino sheriff's deputy, and firing at the cop with her own gun, was found not guilty of attempted murder by a jury, even though the attack was caught on camera, as you can see in here right now. Joining us now to discuss is former law enforcement officer Mike Pugliese, the founder of the Pugliese Law Firm. Mike, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, Kara, for having me. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is just a horrible example of jury nullification. What is jury nullification? Well, it's where a jury uses their own sense of justice and ignores completely the facts at hand. In that video that you're showing, you can see the video. The officer is clearly identified. She's wearing a uniform, so there's no question that he's attacking a peace officer. There's no question that he stole her firearm. There's no question that he's shooting at her. But the jury has chose to totally ignore that and say that, gee whiz, this evidence wasn't clearly proven. And they took the facts in their own hands and created their own facts and found this thug, this cop attempted killer, free. And the question is, well, what is the sense of justice? And your layout up to this is clearly on point. It shows clearly that cops have been demonized. We need to scrape the surface. What is the underlying motive on demonizing cops and then seeing verdicts like this from a jury that has been heavily influenced, heavily tainted by the left? Well, it's clearly communistic. You know, it's looking, they want to completely wipe out policing at all. Just totally do away with it. When you hear the interview of the young officer that was attacked, this young woman that was attacked and gave her life to the service of serving the public, she says, I will never choose this profession again. And also, she will tell other potential police officers, don't even look this way. We are losing our good cops in droves, and they're being replaced with a woke mentality. And that's what we're contending with. This is straight out of Karl Marx. And I know that we're leaving the surface of just policing in general, but this is straight from a communist manifesto. Do away with your middle class. That's where you draw most of your police officers from, that middle class. They grew up in the middle class. They know what the middle class is about. And basically, take it away. Get rid of your officers. That's where it comes from, and that's what they're trying to accomplish, in a sense, weaponizing violence. Violence against police officers, and ultimately weaponizing violence against us as citizens. And it has to stop, and we need to put brakes on this, because this wokeism has totally crept into every aspect of our life, every aspect of our safety, and our children's safety.
And I think that's the most important thing that you bring up, is that they're purposely doing this, creating this environment to push out good cops, to replace them in the ranks with people who won't think twice about, say, enforcing the vaccine mandates and other unconstitutional orders that thankfully most cops would say, no, that's against the Constitution. That's what I swore on. I swore on the Constitution, swore on the Bible, not going to do it. But now when those good people get pushed out for doing their jobs or being told not to do their jobs, now it's going to be replaced with people who will do exactly what the state wants, and that's very, very scary. You know, the officer, the former deputy in this case, as he says, she left the force, she retired, PTSD, she broke her thumb in this incident, she had a black eye. The man pummeled her before taking her gun, and then she says, her name is Megan McCarthy, she claims that the suspect here, he even pointed the gun in her face and was saying earlier, I'm going to headbutt you, all this horrible stuff, that he was going to attack her and leave her prone. Points the gun in her face, she says, and then thankfully the gun jams, and so therefore she's alive now to tell the story. And the department says many say that this jury pool was probably tainted, it seems, by anti-gun sentiment, as you alluded to earlier. But then what I want to get your take on here is the defense lawyer in this case. I think Raj Maline, if I'm saying his name correctly, what he says is that the officer in this case had no reason whatsoever lawfully to stop his client. And let's reverse here for a second. The 911 call comes in. The mother says that her son, he is schizophrenic, he's going crazy, he has a knife in his hands. That's the call that's coming in. This officer, she's the first one to respond. He comes at her, makes a beeline for her. He's threatening her. He's saying all sorts of horrible stuff. Like I said, I'm going to F you, I'm going to headbutt you, all this horrible stuff. Then he starts to pummel her face. He starts to attack her. But Raj Maline, the defense lawyer, says, well, you had no probable cause, nothing to stop my client. So therefore, and then this is the quote, he says, my client could have punched her 100 times and it still would have made a difference. He still would have been not guilty in this case. What kind of backward, insane logic is that?